What's going on, everyone? This is Realtor Joe Samona. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Your Cup of Joe. Today, I have with me Chris Bahoora with LIVNG, and he's also a realtor. We work in the same office with Maxbrook Realtors in West Bloomfield. Chris, thanks for joining. If you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Thanks, Joe, for having me. Started off in real estate, still doing it, but got into the building industry about 5, 6 years ago. So took what I learned from real estate and applying it to clients for building new homes and remodeling.
What got you into real estate? And there must have been that spark that said, I want to do building. And I've known you for a very long time. And I know that if you set your mind to something, that you can do it. But going into being a builder and renovating homes, building new construction, that's a tough task. So what was your motivation to do this?
So I started off working in the family business, which was furniture stores. So we had like the modern furniture stores, and then like back like 2007 or eight, when we had the recession, I had to do something else because it couldn't support all of us. So Niran told me I should try real estate since I've been doing sales for so long. So I partnered up with her, and from there, that's where it started. But I've always was into like the design and stuff like that. So it was always my passion. And then real estate was kind of like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it. If that makes any sense. I always had that passion for, building something or creating something. Um, but I stuck with real estate for so long because we were doing really good. I mean, we did a lot of sales and, we were busy. Money was good. I didn't want to stop. But at the end of the day, um, I just wanted to do what I love to do.
That's totally understandable. And for those of you watching who are maybe not familiar with us, Niran is his aunt, who I share a wall in my office with. So I'll see you later, Niran. No, but a lot of times when you jump into something that is related to the field that you're in, for example, being a builder, and then, you were in real estate. A lot of times when you jump into a field that's related to your line of work, such as you're a realtor, but you became a builder as well,
Mhm.
it makes you appreciate real estate more. So you liked real estate, you didn't love real estate, but I have to imagine that now that you love building, it also gives you more appreciation for real estate.
100%. Actually, I learned a lot from real estate and applied it to building. What customers like and what they don't like. When we're showing houses, they say, "I wish the kitchen was bigger. I wish this was that." So you can actually apply that to what you're building or what you're designing or remodeling for somebody. So without that knowledge or the experience from real estate, I don't think I would be as successful as I am in building because you understand what people want for so long.
Absolutely. And that's great information. Do you oftentimes have clients in the building and remodeling aspect calling you, or the building and remodeling field calling you saying, hey, I am going to list my house, or I'm going to move into a house that I just purchased. I need you to come do some work to the home.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of times, whether it's fixing something to get it, listed or painted. And also I've been doing a lot of construction loans. So trying to find somebody a house in, in this market, their budget is, let's say 600, but there's really nothing nice for 600. So we'll go down and we'll look for something in the 400s, 450s and do a construction loan for the difference. So we can actually remodel it and make it, what they want, and still fit their budget. So it does help to do both.
We'll be talking to a lender who does a lot of construction loans. What are some of the most common issues that you see as a builder in homes that people may have just purchased. For example, me as a realtor, and I'm sure you in real estate prep your clients before they go through a home inspection on what to expect as the most common issues that may arise. Some of the most common issues are um, the downspouts are not draining far away from the house, or siding is going to need to be repaired and or replaced, or there's going to be issues with electrical panels. Those are some common issues, serious yet common issues that if an inspector, which we'll talk to on another future episode, will discuss common issues, but those are common issues that I prep my clients for. What are some of the most common issues that you see as a builder, even if you've seen it through the realm of your real estate profession?
I have to say, gutter downspouts are the that's number one. You see it all the time, and it's the easiest to take care of. But if you don't take care of it, it becomes, from $100 fix of getting the extended downspouts and draining it the right way. If you don't take care of it, you're talking about foundation issues, water issues, and that's the worst thing you can do. So I think the easier fixes, if they go unchecked, you're going to have a big problem in the future.
So that's interesting that you say that. There's also radon, and radon is an odorless gas, depending on the area that you in. But in the Tri-County area, I believe it's like 1 in every 6 homes
Hmm.
test above the EPA standards for radon. And radon is such an easy fix. Putting in a radon mitigation system slash remediation system, it's depending on if it's going through a sump pump or through a chimney, it's probably around $1,200. But if you don't fix it, radon is the second leading cause, I believe it's the second leading cause of lung cancer behind smoking. And there's statistics on what age groups it affects. But yeah, some of the things are common, some of the things are easy, and some of the things may be pricey, but they're things that you need to do that you're going to have those issues in any home. What, as far as construction and as far as building, what do you enjoy most about the process?
Um, I will say real quick though, regarding radon, if you get tested and you don't have radon, any radon detected, you should check it every couple of years anyways, because it's an odorless gas, but depending on where it's moving, you might not have it this year. Next year, it might swing your way. So it's some, if you use your basement a lot, that's always something I would say. And you can even get a home radon test, but it's worth it for a couple $100 every couple of years just to make sure. Um, as far as my favorite part is, I like to see the transformation of something that's old or that needs work, and then you revamp it, or you change just a couple things, knock down a wall, just do a couple. Sometimes a small change makes a big difference. So I love just seeing, from where it was and the end result. I think it's fun. It's fun doing it.
Yeah, it's seeing the end result and knowing that you were a part of the process
Yeah.
is definitely rewarding. And one of my previous episodes, when I was talking with a mortgage lender, they were talking about their exhilaration of seeing that first time home buyer at a closing table, and or any buyer, and then reaching across the table and giving them a hug and being excited. So in building and in real estate, when we know that we've done our job, in building, you specifically, in real estate, both of us, when we know that we've done our job, it truly is a great feeling and gives us that exhilaration when we know that we served our client like we should, and when we went above and beyond without seeking recognition for that, which is one of many things that I applaud you on. You always go above and beyond, and I see it in real estate work, even if it's deals that we're not working on together, if it's not a deal that we may have together, and I see it in your building work and your construction work. Um, you go above and beyond, and I'm a little more in tune with the process, so I recognize it, but you're not looking for my recognition and you're not looking for my applause and you're not looking for congratulatory things from me, which is something that I applaud you on. And those are the people, those types of people like you are the people that I enjoy sending business to, because I know that no matter what, whether I give them a high five and say, hey, thanks for going above and beyond, or if it may slip my mind, you're not looking for that thanks. You're still going to do it. Because to you, similar to me, it's like you're not looking at the one deal, the one, build job that we may do together. You're looking at the future deals that we're going to do together.
100%. Plus, it's our name, right? So your name carries more value than anything, and you want to always do the right thing. You know, whether you get recognition or not. If you see a problem, you fix it. You take care of it. And you make sure. You know, I tell people I'm pickier than they are, which is true. Like I'll notice stuff that they wouldn't notice, and just because I don't like it, I'll fix it
That
or I'll
happened
take care of it. Yeah.
that happened on a recent job that I had you and your team go out to. There was something on a ceiling that we
Yeah.
didn't notice. So, Chris, you do also commercial building and renovation, correct?
Yep.
Is there a favorite between residential and commercial, or do they both have their benefits, and they both have their good days and they both have their attributes? Um, is there a huge difference in the way that you're constructing things or remodeling things if it's in a commercial building versus a residence?
I think you can be a little more creative in the residence. You know, I mean, it depends on what you're doing commercial wise, but if they allow you to do the design, I think you can get somewhat creative, but you can't go too outside of the box. But depending on the client, you can for residential, you can propose a couple cool things, and it's fun. So I'm doing a project right now in Bloomfield Hills. They have a movie theater in the basement, so I talked to them about doing like a Murphy door, which is like it's gonna look like a movie picture. So there's a wall there, secret, handle, and it goes into the movie theater. Doing another similar one for a laundry room that's in the middle of their living room that we couldn't really get rid of. So we built a wall unit, and part of the wall unit has a book. You kind of, push on the book, and it opens to the laundry room, but it's hidden. So it's kind of cool. You can do some fun stuff that you really you kind of see it online or you see it here and there, but you can't you don't really see it all the time. So I like to go for that if I'm allowed to.
Absolutely. And that input's great because it's things that we don't think about. And I'm sure you've seen it in real estate. Sometimes you may have a client remodeling or building a house, and they may say, well, I want it. Remember that house we saw on 1234 Anywhere Street? That's how I want my kitchen island to look. Or, for example, I've walked through so many new construction homes, model homes with clients that when my family remodeled our house, I was like, I want to do a waterfall island. And that's something that I may have not thought about, probably wouldn't think about had I not walked through that and had I not known, for example, the cost when you do it like with one of the big builders who that's one of their big upgrades. Nobody's going to go do it afterwards versus like a cost of doing it with someone if they hired you, which would be substantially cheaper. What is your motivation to get going every single day? What is your motivation and what's your grind?
My motivation are my kids and my family. That's number one. And I think being able to, the creative outlet, I think that's really the drive. That's what's fun for me. So you get to go and, like I said, you get to design something, create something, whether it's the same kitchen you're done 100 times or a cool Murphy door or, just something different. It's to me, it's just fun putting it all together.
Speaking about your kids, you have the most adorable kids. I remember seeing your wife and your daughter at the office, and your daughter was watching YouTube stuff like kids shows, and I looked to your wife and I said, "Is your daughter?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "She's beautiful." So I said, "Hold on one second." I went and turned on Bob the Builder. I remember sending you that picture. It's like you're gonna be just like your dad. And she's like sitting there watching it with like her eyes on the TV on the monitor. She's like, I'm like, this is great. Do you have a background in architecture, or do you have anyone with a background in architecture part of your team?
Um, so in high school, I did take architecture classes. It's something I wanted to actually pursue and go to college for, but things happened that I wasn't, it didn't work out that way. So I always appreciated that, and I do have an architect that I work with um, for all my jobs, and I refer him, for anyone who's looking. He's my number one. Can I shout him out?
Yeah, of course.
Neil Amori with Amori Design, one of the best guys. Understands exactly what you need, what you're looking for, and he really does apply that, with his designs. I absolutely love him.
That's great. You know what's great when you tell somebody this is what I want, and they don't try to upsell you, which is what you just described of Neil, that he won't try to upsell people. And I know that that's not how you are. Giving recommendations to people like, hey, I think this type of door would look nice or this type of floor would look nice is great. But trying to upsell somebody like, hey, you should go 800 square feet bigger, or put solid doors on that are going to cost, 4 times the price and only
Mhm.
return 1 time the value is doesn't make sense. And I appreciate that you do that, and that's great to know that Neil understands the people and you understand the people too. So it seems like you're dealing with like-minded people, which is absolutely great.
Oh, that's the best way to go. I mean, I've worked with architects that they're so stuck in their ways. Working on a gas station right now, and the guy was so stuck in his ways on like what the layout should be and the exterior should be, and the clients, kind of like yelling at him, saying, "This is not what I want." And I even told him, "I'm like, we're doing all this work, spending all this money, and the exterior looks like something that's 20 years ago. We need to make it current." And I mean, we were in a shouting match with the architect. So I pulled him away and actually referred him over to Neil. And it worked out because, again, he understood what the client wants, the budget, the style, the look, and, you, and we made it work because you can't be stuck in your ways, especially when you're in, I can't be, I'm modern at heart, but if somebody doesn't want that, you can't push it on them. You have to
Abs-
understand what they want and apply it.
Absolutely. Chris, before we close out, question that I have on something that you just touched on, which is, adapting to ways and trends. Do you believe that you and your team have the vision for where trends may be going to be one step ahead of the game? For example, if something is turning transitional style versus modern, or if an area of homes may be traditional versus transitional, and that may be the best value for the home, or you could tell it, can you tell if it's trending that way based on your knowledge, or if interior designs, kitchen designs are trending that way based on your knowledge?
Definitely. One benefit that I have is, again, my parents own furniture stores, so I get to meet with all the reps that are in from Italy or Europe, Holland, all over the world, and they come, all the time, and they also put us up on the trends or what's hot, what's new, what's coming out, what they're seeing, the direction going in, and so having that and that I grew up with it and I still follow. I still go there and meet the people and do all of that. And my mom is a designer. We've been doing this for a long time, so yeah, I mean, definitely we have a heads up on where we think the styles are going or what's coming back, what's timeless, that whole thing. Yeah.
I knew about the furniture store business, but that's great info. I didn't know that your mom is a designer.
Hmm.
Um, Anytime that I want to see your dad, I just go to Birmingham on the weekend, and I'll probably see him there.
He's usually at the Daxton. Yeah, you can find him there Monday through Sunday.
Gotta love Bill. Chris, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. And everyone, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Your Cup of Joe. Stay tuned for the next one.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.